Hey there. This is a. Let's start with a smile with the love of my heart. Uh, but because this is like home base speaking, you know. It just came to me deep in my heart about the amount of gratitude and appreciation that I have for everybody that I ever met in every room I ever went into. Um, it was a part of Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay, it's just. That's why I cut my teeth, so to speak, got my spirit back. It's called Getting Things in Order, How It Works. That's chapter 5. You know, it's basically you're sharing space with a demon. Now the demon's got control of your thoughts, right? And there are times when it's like you wake up in the morning and you believe, you really believe that you can't function and get going that day to do anything without, a pint of vodka, a pint of Jim Beam, So I've been there. I've been down that spiral. Matter of fact, when I lit myself on fire in 2016 and realized it's like rewinding the movie, right? And then you come back to like stop. Okay, the movie's done. Punch your ticket. It's all uploaded. Done. The movie's done. Okay, so it's just like, okay, that was my script. Okay, because of what you know when you know it, and where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be, why you're supposed to be there, when you're supposed to be there, when you're there. Okay, so you're on a mission. So I realized I wrote my own timeline and experienced things that I even knew at 8 years of age, I don't want to experience this. And yet already knowing what I'm going to experience in the future in order to get where you already know that you're at because you never left home. Okay. So you run through all this stuff, all these simulations that are going, that are all running simultaneously. See, simulation, all these simulations that are running. Okay. And that's really what it is. Even in your dream state, it's what's happening. You're connected into these like compartmentalized visual images of being with people that are using their energy to be in that dream state, and now your energies with being in that in that place. See, so these are like other experiences, other visuals that are running. That your consciousness is now experiencing what that is, and if you wake up and you remember what it is, then you know that you were simulating that too. Okay, with the characters, the scene, whatever scene you're in. And that's all cross-indexing through basically circulation libraries that are taking place between the computer terminals that are running all this stuff. Right? So when you already know as a small child that it's fake, but yet you know where home base is. Why I realize you stay right in your heart. That's your anchor. You're your soul. Led by spirit, let's go. You're on fire. So it is a map. It's like a fire map on a log distribution cable of, I used to say it's like an EKG strip. So you can map the roadway that I took in order to get where I needed to be, in order to do what I did when I got there, which was to light myself on fire. That's the saying. And then when that happened, I said, the AV plugs, we're done. Okay. So in other words, it's like being willing to jump into an infected, it's like going, your consciousness is now going to go into, if you want to think of it this way, a virtual world simulator. And go, okay, I'm in a virtual world simulation, but I also have the real universe that I'm plugged into. Okay, so it would be no different as if you decided, okay, we have a problem area. We're going to go in there and see what's wrong. So in other words, it's like being technicians. Okay, I heard the word tech operatives. Okay, so in other words, it's like you're a network engineer. There's a network engineer built into you. So you know how to build a network faster than anybody. Okay. That's the bottom line. So that means I knew on one of my identity accounts, I was the power company of the universe, of the cosmos. So in other words, when the shit hits the fan, okay, really bad, and so you can't contain something, now it's like calling the real fire department. Okay, the first responders. So in the Indian culture nomenclature, that would be a first law Indian or a first law Star Nation. So that means that they honor the highest code of conduct, which is a superconductor, which is the highest accelerator of creation that there is, and they know that that's what love is. So they honor that law. That's the law of one. So there's no mistaking that. That's what comes first, because that's why it's called one. The law of one, which is what love is. So love is the law. Love is the law. This is not one of those Fortran things where it's true and false, like false positive. No, it's only one, which means it's either true or it's not true. It's true. Okay? I know that because that's what I am. I'm a one. So when you're a one, there's no fooling the one because you're experiencing what you are in energy, so you know you are what love is. So when you think of that as being pure fire that's running, you just have an enormous amount of fire. It just doesn't. It's you can't put the fire out. You cannot put something that hot out. So you've joined forces with another furnace. Now you burn hotter. Now that's essentially how much heat are you bringing to the party, which is how much fire are you bringing to the party. My God, you need to cool that down. So that is an engine of creation. So those are the biggest engines. That's what drives creation energy. That's what drives a musician to be on fire with other musicians, playing music. So that's what it is. You're playing music. You're experiencing the music of the waves. The real gods and goddesses have produced the most beautiful language because we know how to tune into each other's sounds so that we're in harmony together. Real musicians know how to generate harmony, which means they're experiencing harmony in them because they're tuning into the real universe. The one that's in harmony with itself, which means your consciousness, your state of being is in harmony. Wow, I'm tuned in. Yeah, you're going with the flow. The natural flow that creation takes when love is the engine that it's doing it with. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that I thank everybody that gives of their own free will to use their energy, to put their time and energy into step 12 as it's known, step 12 like 12 strand DNA, which is love and service to others. That's what it is. That's how you make it back. All the steps that are laid out there, I'll just share this with you because this is when I was in a motel room in Fayetteville, Arkansas. So naturally, now somebody who was an alcoholic, a drug addict, and all that kind of stuff, I had to go through that stuff. I was supposed to go through that. I wrote that into my timeline to do those things. And the reason for that is quite simple. How much love do you have in your heart? Because there is no greater teacher than direct experience. Okay? That's the way the one works. You got to know the difference between what you are and you weren't. And if you're on a spiritual battlefield and you want to leave a record for children, then it's not something you would ever want to share with them that would ever traumatize them by sharing those experiences with them. So now you can get into the memory wipe side of that. But the truth of the matter is that when I was a child, I realized I was fearless. I wanted to experience everything there was to experience. Because you have so much fire within you, which is how much love you have in your heart. Because you don't fear anything to experience anything, because you know that love is the highest speed accelerator. So that means you already know that there's no way you could experience everything that is out there, because you don't represent every organism that's doing it. Okay? And so you stop there. I stopped there. So it's just like, there is no, even though you can think of all this happening simultaneously in the sense that that many artists are on fire creating out of what love is, how they do that, how we do that together, is producing the most unbelievable creative canvases that you can't even possibly imagine, because you can go one to another, because creative artists are wanting to create something new and beautiful in their own way, which is their signature. Okay, to be an original artist. It's different because you're on fire to be different. So the difference is in the diversity. That's what diversity is. That's an artist that does that. So nature is an artist. That's obvious. So it's just like the spirit of the wind that's blowing through here right now. It feels so good, and the sun's out here. And this place is thriving. So I love green. Of course I love green. Green, emeralds. That was a stone that I gave when I met a girl online who was from Lagos, Nigeria. But I need to not forget that I met and had been in a lot of rooms with a lot of other alcoholics. Okay, and I'm very cognizant and realize the eternal blessings I have that I came out of that in roughly 10 years' time, because I was drinking myself to death. At one point, this was after the Rockwell thing that I've already covered on a previous video with my son that I haven't seen since he was 3 years old. And this ties into another artist that had the same thing happen to him. It's not funny, I realize that. But his energy is not in balance as a result of the trauma that he experienced, as a result of, apparently, I don't know, the relationship, or the woman. I've never met the woman that he was with, but now he's not with his son for not the same reason, but because of who they are, that they married. Just like me, I married a girl that I knew at the time that I did it, it was only going to last 7 years, and guess what? It was gone in 7 years. It's funny how that works. The number 7, that way, it crapped out. Simply because she was going on a material pathway that had a lot to do with her mother, who was a former, well, I should say former, she's a Hungarian gypsy who grew up in Hungary, actually Budapest, where she was a radio operator for the underground when the Soviet tanks came into Hungary. So I had studied intensely a lot of the Nazi, German, actually the whole history of Europe as they tell that history. Okay? Just to look at the relationships of how empires are built, the Game of Thrones and all that, to control the space. In other words, it very much is. Sarah Adams on Basis Project and Project Ascension, the one on Project Ascension is beautiful. She's a beautiful spirit. I would love to go spend a day at the beach with her, or get her friends to come out with a bonfire and let's dance and play music. Because she talked about the crown. Okay, what it means to have a true crown, which comes from wisdom. See, which is like the benevolent one, the one who has love, like me. I have love in my heart. Therefore, I give love to all creation. So what that means is that whatever, like I told this gentleman the other day, I will avail my energy to you to do whatever, however best fit. You could see how that energy could be used here. And I will use my energy because I'm a love energy being. I give love to everything. I'll use my love energy on your behalf to improve. Do whatever you would like to see that wants to improve. So this is another being I'm working with who wants to improve on, who's very aware of what's going on. Okay? That there are those people who love to use their energy in love and service to others to build a thriving community. That's the direction that their energy is going in, is to do that. And you would want that, wouldn't you? So that way, that energy that is now collaborating wants to have a future. Because this gentleman understands the creative side. That's why he told me I don't spend very much time on the phone at all. I'm mostly busy doing things that are good things to improve upon things. So he very much understood the COVID, the software, the codes, the phones, the AI, and all the rest of it. That's why in a very short period of time, only with maybe a total of 2.5 days, but maybe less than an hour's worth of conversation, we covered an enormous amount of ground that he immediately could connect to. That means he's very aware. That means he's He's getting codes. So his consciousness is higher awareness to understand the battleground that's taking place here and be very aware of it. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to pass my blessings on to all of those, everyone, because there was a time in my life when I realized after I'd gotten out of there and remembering that step 12 is just like, yeah, step 12, love and service to others. And so a number of times throughout the last probably 6 or 7 years, I thought I wanted to go into the drug and rehab community and be with them as a counselor. But the difference is the way that the system is set up that they do that, and I'm thoroughly familiar with. Okay, and what it means to be a true healer, and I do it through my heart and my soul. So I'm old school. I do it with my heart and my soul to do it. My heart is the healer. The energy that is in my heart and soul is my healing energy. That's what I use. I don't use some of the other adjuncts and technologies, even though they're available. But I do it with my heart and soul. Work with the sun. Ground myself to Mama, and work with the sun, and just gift energy. Connecting to everybody's neurons. Connect to everybody's hearts. Connect everything's alive and living in cells. And experience the real McCoy. I've been doing that ever since I was a little kid. It's the best of my ability. Running through a track mate, trying to burn my way through to do everything I can to raise the vibration on the planet so that everybody's experiencing what love is, which means everybody's experiencing what the one is. Everybody's experiencing what the law is. Okay, that means the law's here. Anyway, thank you to all of you that gave of your heart and your own free will to reawaken the spirit, to waken the soul up, and remember the real world of what love is. And for all those that were there with me, that helped me in that process, thank you very much. I love you all forever and always. Have a great day. Be good to yourselves.